So, what is going to inspire you so much at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Virgolini? What are you going to be inspired by? Ooh la la, it's most certainly going to be so different to everything else that you've actually been inspired before, especially the way you're going to, you're going to feel. The way this is going to make you feel, it's going to be completely out of this world. So, basically, my gorgeous Virgo, what is going to inspire you right at the beginning of this week? It's not necessarily about an important potential. It's not necessarily about like success. It's not necessarily about money. It's not necessarily about finances and all these things. No, baby, no. What are you going to come across? What are you going to realize at the beginning of this week? It's most certainly going to open your eyes. It's going to be one of the greatest awakening moments ever, and you're going to be inspired. What are you going to be inspired by? It's going to pretty much so going to make you feel like you want to celebrate, you want to have a party, how happy you're going to feel. And you know what that is, what you're going to be inspired by. What you're going to be inspired by, it's like a lot to do with something that you have been tormented by for so long, something that became so heavy and so negative and so sad and so dark in your life, and maybe you just haven't been kind of like honest with yourself so far. It's very difficult to say exactly what this is, but it's something that affected you personally, like nothing before. And so what you're going to be inspired by is just basically how you are going to this what you're going to be inspired by. You will know how to deal with that particular thing that was tormenting you for such a long time. This is why you're going to feel so excited. This is why you're going to feel so ecstatic. This is why you're going to feel so optimistic. This is why you're going to feel so elevated, my gorgeous Virgolini, to the point where you're going to realize, like, you know what, that you are going to need to make like a very, very unusual step, very unusual move, something that you would never, ever do whatsoever. And you know what? You're actually going to surprise yourself like there is no tomorrow. You're really going to surprise yourself with how brave you're going to feel. But most importantly, which move and which decision you're not only going to decide to do, but you are going to like basically literally you're going to make that step right at the beginning of this week. It's like you're going to feel very, very daring indeed. It's rather daring. What are you going to do? So most certainly you are going to surprise yourself really pleasantly. You know, on one hand, you're going to feel like really nervous and scared, but then on another hand, your spirit, baby, your soul, your spirit is gonna be guiding you like a big mama. Your spirit is primarily responsible for the way you're going to act. This is what you need to understand. You just have to let go of all the things and all the nonsense that has been holding you down to the point where you did not even realize how much you were actually affected. Only now, after this moment in time, there is so much of a new unfoldment which is actually going to come into your life. So this is why this is going to be so important, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. So you will know that on one hand, you know, you're going to make like a really daring move, like a really daring step, like you're going to surprise yourself. You're really going to surprise yourself. You are actually going to learn new things about yourself, and you will know that now it's time to move on with your life. Okay, this is important. But then on another note, it's not like what I said, like on one hand you're gonna feel like, oh my god, like really scared and nervous, really daring, you know, it's like a rather daring situation here. But then on another note, what I was trying to say to you before, that your spirit is gonna be guiding you, subconscious mind is gonna be guiding you. So subconsciously you will know that what are you doing right now, it's going to bring one of the greatest adventures into your life. Subconsciously, you will know this, and this is why you're going to be guided like this. This is why you're going to feel this passion. This is why you're going to feel this like really incredible balance, okay, which is going to reflect on you in the best possible way. And you are going to make that important move. You are going to make that important step, and you need to understand that within the next few weeks, and within the next few weeks, this is going to bring an absolutely mind-blowing recognition into your life. What are you going to do? And it's also going to reflect a lot on your finances, on your prosperity, on your financial situation. This is going to reflect, and already within the next few weeks you will know, you will become aware of it. So this is something which is going to kind of make you, which is even going to make you even more determined, and you will know that you did the right thing. You made the right step at the time where, oh my God, things were like so uncertain, my gorgeous Virgolini. So this is why this is going to be a really big moment indeed, okay? And also, when it comes to the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Virgolini, when it comes to the beginning of this week, you know, you are going to also have like a kind of like a bit of a hermit moment. You're gonna feel, and the hermit moment is actually really good when it comes to you. And if you don't know what hermit moment is, you know, maybe people don't understand what this is, but it's just like, it's a time when we want to spend a little bit of time by ourselves, a little bit of time on our own. You know, we kind of feel really withdrawn a little bit, but then again, this is absolutely normal for our personal balance. Everybody has hermit moments, which means that everybody sometimes feel like they need to be by themselves. But at this moment in time, your mind, your subconscious mind takes over as well, because you go really, really deep and you reflect on the certain things that are like shadowing you, that are shadowing your life. It's important because it gives you a chance, and it gives you power. It gives you a courage to kind of reflect on certain things that are worrying you so much without you even realizing. You know, there are so many things that comes to the surface that are hidden away from our mind. You know, maybe certain things that we kind of like really repress, you know what I mean, and things like that we kind of chuck at the back of our mind. But you know, there are points in our lives when we need to deal with this. You see, it's important when it comes to our personal evolution, but it's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing, because you know, there are lots of things that are like at the back of our subconscious mind that are kind of waiting to pop out in terms of like direction as well, okay? And all this contributes to the actual healing in our life. So going back to you having a hermit moment, my gorgeous Virgolini, right at the beginning of this week also, this hermit moment, what is actually going to happen to you, you are going to realize you're suddenly gonna be reminded of some kind of a skill that you have, something that you're really great at, something that you are fantastic at, something that comes to you naturally, something that you're unique at, something that you used to do like absolute ages ago, like ages ago, and something that you've just stopped doing. But you must carry on with that, because this is an integral part of your spiritual journey. It is who you are, and it's always going to be kind of keep on bouncing back. You know, you discover so much about yourself by doing things that are so unique to you. Maybe it's like, maybe you used to like drawing, for example, so now you're just going to kind of have this hermit moment, and then this drawing, you're going to be reminded of the fact that, you know, you used to draw, why you're not drawing anymore. Maybe you were making some kind of a sculptures, and then you stopped doing it. Maybe you used to write books or poems or whatever, and now you're going to be reminded of that, for example. So this is why this is so important. But at the same time, somebody who's so close to you and important to you, like a fantastic friend or family member or somebody, mentioned this to you maybe a few months back, like, why are you not doing that? Why are you not expressing yourself in this particular way? And you're going to be able to remember that as well. So this is something that you need to bring into your life. Don't ignore this. There is a very specific reason for it. It's not only that this is missing in your life, but this is going to play a really big role, and the actual spiritual bridge in between now and in between, like a really big, like a massive, enormous wish wish manifesting in your life, coming true. So this is going to make an impact in your life, but it's not going to be as obvious. But as soon as you're reminded of this, my gorgeous Virgolini, just go for it. Just you need to kind of think how you can kind of bring this back into your life and see where is it going to take you. Most importantly, by the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Virgolini, another very interesting situation. So in the first part of the week, this is important to clear these things in life. Do you know what I mean? Because they're going to be always like kind of catching up with us until we reflect on them. And now that's exactly what's happening here. So in the first part of the week, you know that you're going to be inspired so much to actually deal with something that was tormenting you for so long. The second part of this week, you are really going to become aware of a very unusual and very strange information. Very unusual and very strange information. And that information will not be connected to you, will not be connected to your life, will not be connected to anybody in your life or anybody who you know. But this weird, unusual information that you're going to become aware of, it's really going to scare you a little bit, because it's going to confirm some kind of doubts and some kind of fears that you've already had. And this is nothing to do with your life. It's nothing to do with life with anybody who you know, but it's to do with maybe certain people that you know, it's to do with with the certain people who are on the outside of your life. But you're gonna realize that certain fears are kind of gonna be confirmed with this unusual information that you're gonna have, unusual news, unusual information, unusual realization, and you're gonna realize that you're gonna kind of almost, I know this is gonna sound scary, but don't get scared, please. It's not a bad thing. This is a spiritual reading, so don't get scared. This is actually really good. Because what is going to happen, you will decide to move on, you will decide to escape some kind of a really bad situation affecting you. This is going to give you time to kind of chill out, to stop a little bit, to reflect, and to think what you're going to do with your life, and what edit do you need to make in order to escape some kind of a really bad situation affecting you. Okay, and now this is exactly what you're going to be thinking about. And then you're still going to be kind of uncertain how you're going to do this, and only later you're going to be kind of after that moment in time, you are going to be, maybe it's going to be a few hours later, maybe it's going to be a day or two later, but you are going to find yourself lying down or meditating and thinking. Maybe this is going to be the very first thing in the morning when it's going to happen, when it's going to come to you, because at the very first thing in the morning, within the few minutes, within the first few minutes, we are part of all sorts of different dimensions. So our awareness is out of this world, literally within the few minutes indeed. So I know that you're gonna kind of relaxing, you're gonna be chilling out, you're gonna be either meditating, and there is this kind of while you're meditating, there is this person who is going to come to your mind again. There is somebody who's very close to you again, very important to you, somebody who completely understands you, and somebody who you talk about to so many different things, one of the best people in your life, for example. You're gonna be thinking about that person while you're chilling out and relaxing, and later on you're gonna have a you're gonna have a conversation you're gonna have a conversation with that person, and that person is really kind of are going to confirm to you that particular choice that you are making, it's really good, it's really important, and it's the right choice to make. At that moment in time, this is going to mean to you absolutely everything. At that moment in time, your life is going to change, your world is going to change. At that moment in time, you are going to make a major decision. At that moment in time, you're going to make a major decision here, but at that moment in time, you also need to understand that this is going to be your turning point. Oh my God, at that moment in time, you're going to have this turning point. So you are, as soon as you kind of realize that particular choice that really great person is going to point out to you, that means to you so much, as soon as you realize this, as soon as this is confirmed to you by somebody who means to you so much, at that moment moment in time, this in itself is going to be your turning point indeed. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Virgolini, this is absolutely brilliant. You know, it's to do with an important news. Oh, this is going to mean to you so much, because it's to do with your success, and it's to do with something that you've been working on, something that you've put so much of your precious energy towards. But again and again, it's a lot to do with personal things in life. But on another note, it's a lot to do with like success in general as well, with success as well, and it's to do with personal things in life as well, because this is all kind of connected, especially when it comes to you, especially when it comes to this situation, which is bringing a victory and a mental clarity into your life. When it comes to something that you have been so long indecisive about, something that you have been for so long, my gorgeous Virgolini, indecisive about. So this is bringing a fantastic victory and the mental clarity into your life. So now you are gonna be able to make another, like a really significant decision here. You're gonna make another significant decision, and that significant decision that you are going to make, you know what, it's gonna reflect on your life in such a way where things are going to become so much more practical for you, okay? And it's also going to lead towards your own luxury and culmination, my gorgeous Virgolini. This is a fantastic decision which you are going to make here indeed, but it's also to do with something that you are so good about. It's to do with something that comes to you that you are so fantastic. It's to do with like more like a professional life and things like that, you know, things professional, but something that you're so good about, but it's to do with like professional things in life. You could be retired, it doesn't really matter. It's still to do with something that you are good something that you are so good at, but it's maybe to do with your profession or something that comes naturally to you, not like what I said before. This is completely different now. Very important indeed when it comes to your personal evolution, okay? And also it's like, my gorgeous Virgolini, what else I was going to say, it's like, you know, you're gonna realize at around the end of this week that somebody, it's like really, I don't know, somebody in your life, it's really kind of trying to maybe control you. Somebody's starting to control you in your life, and somebody is maybe like kind of like a really starting to make a negative impact. And now you're finding this really heartbreak. You're gonna find this maybe like a little bit heartbreaking, and you're gonna find this a little bit confusing. And you know, you need to understand that this is not a bad thing. This is not it's not a bad person, but that person in your life, it's somebody who's really great, somebody who's really amazing, it's a really good person, but you are going to feel like that person is kind of starting to make you feel really unhappy, and this person is starting to kind of control your life in a negative way. But you just need to kind of snap out of it, adjust a little bit, and see where this is coming from. That particular person is going through something ridiculously difficult, and it's somebody who's really close to you. So before you make some kind of decision that you may regret or something like that, you know, you need to kind of see where is this actually coming from, because when people are dealing with personal issues, you know, it reflects on other people and other situations in their lives in so many different ways. But this, sadly, it's reflecting like you're gonna think like that person is starting to control you, but it's not a really personal. You need to speak to this person, and you need to come to the bottom of this, and you will see, you're gonna be really surprised with what this person is actually going to tell you. They're really struggling with a very unusual element in their life, and it's to do with somebody who is connected to them. It's to do with somebody who's so important to them. They don't know what to do, and they have found themselves in a very difficult situation. So before overreacting, my gorgeous Virgolini, and I'm not saying that you would overreact, don't get me wrong, but it's just because you're gonna feel maybe a little bit under the pressure at around this time, so I don't want you to overreact, you know. So just try to see, first of all, where this problem it's actually coming from. And another fantastic news at around the end of this week, my gorgeous Virgolini, it's something that you've been waiting for absolute ages. This fantastic news is going to surprise you. It's going to mean to you so much, but it's more about it providing you with a key realization, how to speed something up, how to speed something up. Now this is going to mean to you so much, because you've been waiting for this for absolute ages. Okay, my gorgeous Virgolini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.